いつも君と待ち続けた季節は何も言わず通り過ぎた。雨はこの街に降り注ぐ少しのリグレットと罪を包み込んで泣かないことを誓ったまま時は過ぎ痛む心に気がつかずに僕は一人になった記憶の中。
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard. I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
We've reached our destination.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen. But doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Yes! Right. Very nice. Yes! Right.
Just a minute.
Great! What? Yes!
Great!
Hey!
No way!
Oh? Hey!
Sorry.
How? Amazing! Yes!
Hey. What?
Very nice.
Alphen! She owns stuffing bread with mabo curry!
Now I can eat this every day.
Jeez, Shionne, you're hooked on that stuff.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Whoa!
Watch it! Hey!
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Wow, that's some weird-looking meat you're cooking up there. What is it exactly?
That would be grilled rapig.
What?
Whoa there! What's the big brouhaha?
It's Rapig! How could you cook something with such cute little eyes? What did it ever do to you?
I fail to see what the problem is. Rapigs are perfectly edible creatures. Having said that, I do realize it's become rather rare to eat them lately. What with people increasingly embracing them as pets and companions.
They definitely didn't fall out of fashion to eat because of their flavor, that's for sure.
Agreed. Rapigs have tender, fatty meat. The taste can take some getting used to, but I would argue that's part of its charm.
If the taste is too strong, I imagine you can either just cook it thoroughly or simmer it with some herbs to mask it.
Indeed. At first I wasn't sure whether to smoke it with spices or simmer it in water, but I opted to grill it as is instead.
Seriously, Dohalim? You have the weirdest tastes.
That's probably because when you live the life of a lord, you grow tired of most ordinary cuisine.
So you end up seeking out more unusual food. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, putting aside what it used to be, you've got to admit it does look pretty damn good. Meat is meat, after all.
That reminds me. I do believe I once read in a book about rare delicacies, how one can go about preparing an owl.
Huh?
I suppose I won't have the chance to try it anytime soon.
Not with Hootle, you won't!
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menencia. I command you.
Rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Raining my shield!
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Soaring light spear!
Shining Supernova!
You're mine!
More with a here from...
Blew away!
Soaring light spear!
By the power of water! Only glimmer! Here!
Take this!
What?
Resonate with the earth!
Here! Be still! Soaring light spear!
Armor won't save you!
Megasonic thrust! I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! Take this! Here! Megasonic time! Soaring light spear! Fall back!
That'll bring you down!
Here I come! I'm not
I'll heal you all!
Fire in the hole! Take this!
You're mine! I'm not done!
Need to
pull myself
together! More for the stockpile! Radiant is the wind!
Here I come! Burn!
More for the stockpile!
Captivity!
Lunar corruption!
Raining
Thunder
fire!
blast! Back into the fray!
Megasonic thrust!
Support!
By the power of war! Searing flame! Reload!
Blow away!
Both sides!
Take
In
this!
here!
Any Anything in order.
Listen!
Armor won't save you!
Lunar
Negative
Collision!
Render you a bloody
Here's a healing arm!
Take this!
First aid!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Glacial
You're
Spear!
mine!
Here's evil!
You're mine! Megasonic
Freeze
Thrust!
Laser! Lightning Orb! I'm ready to retreat! That'll bring you down!
I'm ready! You're finished!
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Can't get out of this!
Begin!
In a bind?
You're mine! Raining Slash!
Can you take it? You're mine!
Away!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Illuminate anything in armor!
Soaring
Blast!
power of water!
Everlasting
Armor
dark!
won't save
Big
you!
flame!
Take this!
Reload!
Crush!
Oh, violent I'll heal you all!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help!
Here I come!
Thunder Field!
Mighty Blade! Blow away!
In here!
Hurricane Thrust!
More for the top! Now away! Wasn't weak!
Lightning Thrust!
Another incantation
Shiny
ruined.
You're
Supernova!
mine!
More of that
Dazzle!
hit! Water! Hear my call! This one's
Take
mine!
this!
Dance on the wind!
I never miss!
Crush!
Do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Hear me! Flame of
Now!
fury!
Begin!
Glacial
Raining
Spear!
Slash!
Here's evil!
Blow away!
Light Astral
Take
Lightning
this!
Condense!
Blow away!
Do it!
Take this!
Grimmer!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
With this, I can become even stronger. Little help!
You're mine! Spicy one, eh?
Far enough!
Ready and ready!
Reflect on my
Hurricane
sin.
Water!
They smite me. That may prove a thorn in my side.
Engaging! Raining Slash! Ignite!
It's almost too strong.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and pummeling to me.
Need to pull
I'll
myself
smash
together.
you!
My shield!
Radiant Pierce! Shield!
Blow away! Raining Slash! Blow away! Here I come!
I'm only getting like three slams!
Blow away! Fire this! I'm not done! Take it!
Raging confiscated!
Water, hear my call!
No further!
Illuminate the thread! I never miss! Holy Land!
Finish
I heal you all!
Dazzle! Easter! Catapult!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Here I come!
Raging
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
Lunar corruption! Lunar
away.
corruption!
Raining slash!
Resonate with the
Take
earth.
this! We're not finished!
Take this!
Take this!
Radiant
Here!
here!
Can't get out of this!
Here's a healing
I
art!
can carve through armor!
Shield
I
dagger!
owe you one!
Scream bathed in blood.
Megasonic thrust!
Lightning!
Lightning thrust!
Deathfall!
Soaring light
Being
spear!
interrupted.
Megasonic thrust! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here goes! Lightning! Deathfall! Outwatch and
Here I come!
annihilation!
Strike!
War without
You're finished!
Execution!
Take it!
Now! You're here! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Magic is am!
My turn!
By the power of water!
Blow away!
Now!
Soaring light!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
This won't be easy.
You're mine! It's on!
Don't be such a
I'm
pessimist.
not done!
No dawn shall break this
Blow
night.
away!
Celestial
I'll
Lunar
face you.
I won't show you any mercy! Lightning! Here I come!
No dawn
Here's a
shall
healing
break
art!
this night.
First aid!
Take this!
Tempest Wall!
Smash you! I'm not done! Blow away! Be still!
Here's a
Here I
healing
come!
art! Natural energy! Lightning condemned! Thunderbolt!
In a bind?
Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy land! Lunar corruption!
Blow away!
Watch and
Dazzle!
Annihilation!
You're mine!
So you clamor for my true power?
Try hard! My turn! Soaring light spear! Tear!
Lightning
Soaring
strike!
light spear!
Thunderclap!
Megasonic thrust!
Flame of fury! Glacial spear! This one's mine!
Resonate with the earth.
Blow away!
I never miss!
Stalagmite.
Raining slash! It's
I'll
over!
heal you all!
Raining
I'm nearly done for.
Will this help?
Anything in armor is all mine.
Healing circle!
Thanks! Take it! Strike!
Top spear!
I owe you one!
Magnetic swirl!
Raining slash!
Annihilation!
Blow away! I'm not done!
Photon splash! Lunar corruption! Earth malevolent! Gemini
Take it!
waterfall!
Can you take it?
Blow away!
Do it! Dopamine!
Light burst forth.
Radiant finishing!
It was a close thing.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm not done!
Can't get out of this!
Damn it!
It's over!
In the wind!
Raining slash! I have no
As if the
limits!
normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Holy glyph!
Raining slash! Tear!
Stalagmite!
Hurricane thrust! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lunar corruption!
You're mine!
Heal!
Illuminate the
Blow
dark!
away!
Being interrupted.
You're mine!
Heal!
Soaring light spear!
Dance in the wind!
Take this!
Air thrust!
You're mine!
This one's mine!
No escape! You're finished! Raining slash!
Lunar
owe you
blast! Back into the fray!
Dance on the wind!
Celestial power! Water!
They smite with black and flame!
Annihilation!
Execution!
Be still!
I'll stop its water! Thanks, Kisara!
I'm not done! Raining
Heal
slash!
my weary companion!
Not today!
Maybe this one!
No escape! away!
Here's the evil and I can't stop.
Raining
Take
thrust!
this!
Freeze
Blue
laser!
armor won't save you!
Thunder field! Raging cascade!
Heal my...
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Reflect on thy sins.
They
smite.
Try harder! Now!
Mega ray!
Blow away! Hurricane thrust!
Lightning orb!
Another incantation ruined.
Ah! Pierce!
Friend! Dance in the wind! Field!
Rending you up.
Healing
Raining coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you all!
The flame inside me!
Wind
Get out!
acid! More with that searing flame!
Take this!
I never miss!
Raining slash!
Take it! Into the
Take
shadows!
this!
Raging storm!
Heal my weary
Blow away!
Annihilation! I can't heal you forever!
Raining slash!
Raging cascade!
Anything in armor is all
Here's
mine!
evil! Friend!
Raining slash!
Demon Blast! Freeze blast! Magic is
Try
there!
harder!
You require a hand.
Blow away!
No further.
You're mine!
Hear me! Deal! Fury! Illuminate the glacial
You're
sphere!
mine!
Here's the
Raining
evil!
slash!
Freeze laser! Raging cascade!
Demon lack!
Ah!
Elusive deity!
Magic is there!
Hitting pile driver!
Raining coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! You're mine!
Radiant light!
Blow away!
Everlasting
Here I come!
Negative death!
I'm only getting
Blow away!
Take this!
Soaring light spear!
I'll blind you with a stun!
Take this!
Dance on the wind!
Blow away!
If this isn't ideal.
Where are you going?
Take this!
Heal!
I don't even know the word defeat.
Don't suffer in
Blow
silence.
away!
Ready?
Strike!
Now you see what I can do!
Glacial sphere! Here's the evil! Waterfall!
Pierce!
Freeze lancer! Dance in the wind!
Be
Lunar
still!
corruption! Sleep now! Gemini Alpha! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Radiant pierce!
Heal!
I couldn't make it.
Ready to go! Can't be forward! More with that kick!
I'm ready! Hey! Blow them away!
We can really make weapons with this?
This one will be difficult to predict.
Arctic waterfall! Here's a healing art!
Raining slash!
It's like trying to keep up to the wall!
Raining, try harder! Not a chance!
Lunar
We're not
corruption!
done! Blow away! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! This should do it! This is looking good!
Raging storm! Corruption! Gemini
Armor won't save you!
Razor cyclone!
You're mine!
Gemini
No
Alpha!
escape!
Here's a healing
Raining
art!
slash!
First aid!
Thanks!
Prepare to be sealed!
Lunar
Here I
corruption!
come!
Lightning the marksman handle this!
Benediction.
Where are you going? Lightning
Here
control!
I come!
Thunder blade! Illuminate the dark!
Hold nothing Castle! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Breath of life. Heal
Take
my
this!
weary companion.
I'm ready! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Here, let me help.
Here I come! Thanks! Blow away! We did it!
Used too much.
Take this! This engulfs you! Blow away! On your knees! Here I come!
Air pressure.
Water!
Ready now!
Spread!
Armor won't save you. Can you take it?
Take this!
Now, here's the evil!
Hey! Blow them away!
I need to be strong. Longer.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Now you'll learn! Raining catapult! Raining slash!
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
Bring him down! Raining slash!
Where are you going?
You're mine! Soaring light spear!
Searing flame!
You're mine! Raining slash!
Water! We're on call! Dance in the wind! Here!
I have no limits!
Burning
You're mine! Be still! Soaring up! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Breath of life. Heal my
You're
weary
mine!
companion.
River!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Now shattering to pieces.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer!
I'm not!
Holy
Soaring light spear!
Radiant pierce!
In a bind.
Raging storm!
Raining
Elusive deity.
Hurricane thrust!
Hitting pile driver.
Take this!
Lightning radiant pierce!
Take this!
Illuminate
Negative
the
You're
shape.
finished!
Holy
Hurricane thrust!
Holy
You're mine! You're mine!
I never miss! Lost! Demons descend!
Flashing bang.
Take this!
Flame! Reload! Can this world!
Blow away!
Step back! This one's all law!
Right, here goes! For my lord!
Not on my watch!
Take this!
Raging storm! More without
Lightning
me!
strike! Mow 'em
Here's a
down!
healing art!
I'm going in!
Carve now to walls!
Megasonic thrust!
Hammer!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Take this! Now you see what I can do!
You like deals? Blow away! Take this!
Into the shadow!
Lightning thrust!
Mega
Here I come! Strike!
Breath of
Blow
life!
away!
Heal my weary
Rain back! And more will all burn out!
Just reload!
Raining
In a
assist!
bind!
Don't leave me! Friend!
No dawn shall break this night!
Everyone, get back! It's too dangerous!
You're mine!
Breath of life! Heal my weary companion!
We natural energy!
Smash you! Here I come!
Free from regret.
Raining
I
slash!
never miss!
Lightning thrust! Release! Soaring light
Here's a
spear!
healing art!
Here I come!
Here I go!
Be still! Burn!
Take care of Mega Ray!
I'm ready! You'll pay for that!
Hear me! Burning strike!
Take this!
Just what the doctor ordered!
I'm not done!
Resonate with the earth!
We did it!
Stalagmite!
Lightning resound! Annihilation!
Here I come!
Reload!
Raining slash!
Here's a healing art!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
My exploits are bearing fruit. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Alphen!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imeris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imeris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a Master Core?
What the—
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handled the Zoogles, then we kept some answers.
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Stalagmite!
Raging Storm!
Raging
Let them launch it! Now through all!
Strike!
Together!
Raining
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
A whirling
You're
trouble!
mine!
They smite with black.
Raining slash! Hurricane thrust!
Don't give up!
On your
Lightning
You're
Lance!
mine! Try
Dance in
harder!
the wind!
Here's a healing art!
Try harder!
First aid!
Strike!
reflect on thy
Raining
sins.
slash!
They smite with black and
Hurricane
blade.
thrust!
Thunderblast!
Soaring light
Now
spear!
special!
Charge like
Illuminated!
that. Easily be faithful.
Just as well, I'm
Take
here to
this.
stop.
Annihilation!
Raining
Into the
slash!
shadows!
Light.
Tear!
Can't be happy.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
From
Holy
beyond,
Glimmer! Holy
imbue
Lance!
this vanquished soul with armor won't save you.
Raining slash! Be still! Easter! heal my weary soaring light spear!
Illuminate the dark!
Thank
It's over! Holy land!
You're mine!
Far enough! Mega ray!
Benediction light. It's over! Heal! Try harder!
Lunar Crush!
Time to let it rip! Megasonic thrust!
Gemini Onslaught!
Blow away! Dazzle! Hurricane thrust! Lunar Rondo!
Raging Cascade! First aid!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help! First aid!
Take
Raging
it!
Cascade! Here we
Blow
go.
away!
You're mine!
You require a hand.
Raging Storm!
Take it! No further!
Flawless Flight!
Try harder!
Raging Flame of Fury! I never miss!
It's wide open! It won't escape me! Blow away! Burn! It's go time!
Mega Ray!
Blow away!
Annihilation! Lightning
I
Orb!
can carve through
Here
armor!
goes time! Illuminate
Green
the dark!
Dance to the wind!
Glacial Spear! Leave the chargers to me! Far enough!
I'm not done! Try harder!
First aid! Raging Storm!
Take this! I'll take you!
Illuminate the dark! Holy Glyph! Holy Land!
You're mine! I'm not done! Be
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
No escape!
Prepare to be
away!
Here goes!
Lightning thrust!
Steering clear! Drop below!
Here I come!
Let me help!
Rest for the wicked. Try harder! I'll face you! Now! Take this!
Here I
Blow
go.
away! Megasonic thrust!
Mega ray.
Try harder!
Annihilation! Heal for
Take this!
Raise it now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Will this help?
You're mine! It's on! Blow away! Lightning thrust!
I'm ready!
Be still!
Where are you
Spear.
going? Magic I can handle it! Back into the glacial spear! Pierce
It's gonna
evil!
attack.
Right, watch out!
Captivity!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Freeze laser!
Another incantation ruined.
Here, let me help!
Can't get out of this!
Fireball! Feel it!
No
I'll
dawn
be
shall
saving
break this
what
night!
was
Benediction light! Here I come!
By the Glacial
Blow away!
Gemini Onslaught!
No art of being interrupted.
Here's a healing arc!
This is my fault.
Sorry!
On
I'll bring you back from death to I'll bring you back from death to
Now you see what I can do!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
So you clamor for my true power?
Resuscitation!
Negative gate! Resonate
Still
with
got
the
lunar
earth!
corruption!
Stalagmite! Onward!
Mega ray! Lightning! Holy land mine!
Resonate with the earth!
I never miss!
Stalagmite! This should do it!
Will this help?
Try harder!
Bloody howling! Healing circle!
Stay away from my friends! In a bind?
Lightning! Downfall!
Try harder!
I'll bring you back from
Take
death's
this!
abyss!
You picked the wrong fight!
Leave the charges to me! Denied!
Cure! Sword!
I still got some fight left in me. Water!
You're mine!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning!
Here, go!
Hear my call!
Like a light.
Blood!
They smite with anything in armor is all mine!
Here's a healing arc! First illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Blow
Holy
away!
Glyph! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning! Not on my watch! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Freeze laser! Lightning orb!
I owe you one!
Close one! Healing silence guarding wind! Carve now! Dual cross blade! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Here I come!
Photon
Blow away! You'll pay for that! This ends
I
now!
never miss!
Now or never.
Here I come!
I'll bring you back from death.
In a bind?
Resuscitation!
Raining slash!
Denied! Heal my wearied companion!
Still got some fight left in me.
Don't get carried away!
Raging Cascade!
It's go time!
Blah, blah, blah.
This one's all mine!
Feel!
Blow away!
I'll be saving this one!
Here I come! Raining slash!
Crossblade! Dance in the wind! Feel! Searing fire! Will this help?
Make it in time.
Purge Malevolence! Healing Circle! Big waterfall! Sleep now! What the...
A new lease on
Far
life!
beyond the darkest sky! I call
I'll
upon
bring you
thee!
back from death's abyss!
Resuscitation! I'll heal you all!
Not done yet!
Sorry!
No escape!
No rest for the wicked.
Raining slash!
I'll bring you back
Here I
from
come!
death's abyss!
Blow
I'm
away!
sorry to trouble you.
Raining slash!
Far enough!
That helps.
Shattering of pieces! Attack time!
Blow away!
What?
Raining!
Begin!
Blow away!
Still got some fight left in me!
Easter!
And again!
Seismic Russia!
Radiant light!
Blow away!
If you got the strike!
Blow away! Look sharp, everyone!
Purge Malevolence! Our magic is a freeze lantern! I can't heal you forever!
Take
Back
this!
into the fray!
Try harder!
No
You.
further!
Stay away from my friends! This should do it!
Light acid lightning
From
to
beyond,
death!
imbue this vanquished soul with
Illuminate
love.
the dark!
Resuscitation!
This is some punishment.
Thinking!
You're mine! Raining slash! Blow
Dance in
away!
the wind! Healing Sleep now! I'll be
I'll
saving
bring you
this
back
one!
from death's abyss!
Resuscitation! Heal!
Will this help?
No rest for the wicked.
Carved through armor!
Photon
Resonate with the earth!
I owe you one!
Far enough!
Megasonic thrust!
Magic Slam! Reload!
Raining slash! The flame inside me yearns to be let
Here I
free!
call!
Not today!
Spread! Now!
Totally
Flash!
in an instant! Impact Claw!
Now it's just her! Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me. Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnagin, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almeidrea. As for Tarnagin, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shionne's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want Oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shionne's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent? Soon, we might very well learn I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I'm determined to save Shionne. Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
For the people of Lenegus, the Forbidden Zone is the stuff of dreams. Yet here I am, standing within its hallowed halls.
It's off limits even for lords, then? Talk about an exclusive club.
Being exclusive is one thing, but how many important facilities let in only the Sovereign? Doesn't that seem a little strange?
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was only one room, maybe. But a place on this scale? How did they keep it from falling into ruin? Whoever the Sovereign is, they can't manage the upkeep of this whole place themselves.
Did no one ever talk about it when you were growing up?
No, not that I can remember. Then again, Sovereigns and Forbidden Zones weren't exactly breakfast table conversations.
The Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place, at one with the Sovereign's authority, grounds of the one true ruler who presides over all Renans. That is what we believed this place to be. No, what we were made to believe it was. But now, it is finally time to discover this area's true purpose, and why it was kept hidden behind the scenes for so long. I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Dahnan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Dahnan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Course. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a sovereign. Me, meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
Only 2 sovereigns in over 300 years. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? And if that's the case, why keep on doing it? Was there really no other way? Or could there be some other reason?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. I knew what I was already, so it's not like it's a surprise or anything. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for. I'm scared that I'll put a face to it, just to have someone to blame.
If that were to happen, No. Then we'd help you fight it, before you ever got that far. Wouldn't we, everyone?
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit by and watch you spiral out of control.
That's right. No good can come from being consumed by hatred.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back. To remind you where home is.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Thank you, everyone. I think I'll be okay now. Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from... when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse onto my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Dahnan voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Xion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Xion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't! You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah! We can protect the world and save Xion at the same time!
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Xion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shionne. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.